Good morning, everyone. This is Charlotte, and we are chatting in cars. This is a podcast where we talk about damn near every topic I can think of. I've got a baggie full of goodies that give me ideas. This morning's, oh God, my brain's fried, and I'll tell you why in a minute. This morning's topic is working while sick. Gee, can you guess why my brain's fried? It is a podcast where we talk about damn near anything, and there is swearing. You will hear beeping from my car. There will be trigger warnings and sensitive content. So if you don't want to listen to all that stuff, that is absolutely on you. Turn off the podcast, have a relax, go and watch something else, listen to something else. I don't know. It's up to you, honestly. It's your life. You're the individual. We're all accountable for our own actions. Now, working while sick. I feel, in a way, good and bad about this, because I'm currently sick. Which is ethically wrong to go to work. And I'm hoping you can't hear me snorting and sniffing at this point, because it is disgusting. My voice has gone to this weird deep bass, which I'm kind of happy with. Because normally I feel like a squeaky little... But it's decidedly more sexy today. I don't know if it's going to help me because I work with kids, but you know, I'll go talk to the boss for a raise or something, right? No, I feel for people that actually have to work like this constantly. I mean, well, I am one, so. As a casual teacher, which is what I am now, substitute teacher, relief teacher, whatever you want to call it. In our country, in Australia, you don't get sick leave. If you get sick, you take the day off, you don't get paid. There is no furlough for when we went down in the lockdowns and stuff like that. We just didn't work. Hence the reason we lost a lot of teachers as relief teachers when we went into like the forced lockdowns, because the work just wasn't available, so they found work somewhere else. That didn't make sense in my head. That sounded wrong. Anyway. Oh my God, I'm totally turning my heater on. It is freezing. I know that my body went down yesterday because my heater wasn't on. Some cleaner had, not that I'm dissing cleaners because I used to be one, but the cleaner had left the heater unplugged while she had hoovered or something probably, and I couldn't figure out how to put it back to the settings where I could actually work it. With all my degrees, I can't figure out how a heater works. It was one of those ones you had to calibrate the date and time, and then it had to do all this fancy extra shit, and I'm going, look dude, just give me the fucking heat. I need heat. I need heat. I don't have time to work out the, maths behind this. I'm so tired already. And I was already going down because I could feel it in my sinuses. And then today, I was just, whoa. So you can probably hear the difference from yesterday's podcast to today's podcast. I have no choice but to work. Sick, in other words. There are millions of us workers out there. We are deemed essential workers as well. We have no choice but to work sick. It would be lovely to get sick leave. Full-time teachers get sick leave. Casual workers don't, because they assume that we cover our own financial ass when we get sick. So I don't know where from this magic money just turns up, and it's fine. I'm just having a holiday while I'm half dead. So if you decide to be a substitute teacher, you're going to be working sick. I mean, I'm in two minds about it, because when the pandemic hit, I'm like, oh fuck, okay, the right thing to do is to stay home, isolate, and things like this. But the reality of the situation is, if you don't work, you don't eat. You will go into debt. You don't have a choice. You have to work. So while we're wearing masks and everything, washing our hands and all this shit, you are still sick. You are still working in an environment that caused you to get sick. So in an unethical, horrible way, I might be a super spreader. Do I have a choice in the matter? No, I don't have a choice in the matter. It's a case of work while feeling like shit anyway, or stay home and feel like shit, but also go broke and homeless, and we don't have an option really. I would love to work from home. It's just not a thing. Full-time teachers, when they went into lockdown, started doing online things through a few programs actually, Google Groups or something like that, where they could actually still contact their kids and have online class lessons and things like that. We straight up went on break. I had to sign up to welfare when that happened. I went back on Centrelink, which is what we have in Australia. It was not fun. I still went into debt regardless. I ate up all my savings. So before they will even give you money, they tell you have to use your savings. And they will delay your payments until you've used up all your savings. And that's what they did with me. I was like, I knew what they were doing. I mean, I know better next time. I know to withdraw my money if I have savings next time before they actually see my accounts. I mean, it's a bit underhanded, but you've got to protect yourself, really, haven't you? It's like they won't pay you until you are on your last dime, which is absolute bullshit, because by then you're fucked. And only then will they give you money, and it's just enough to get by. I mean, it was not enough to cover my, what did I have, like mortgage at the time? It was not enough. So you're going into debt just at a slower rate. I was not happy with that. So when the schools opened back up again, I was more than stoked. I'm like, finally I can get back on my feet again. So I think honestly that's a government failing that casual workers don't get sick leave. We only just got long service leave, which I've been working for 12 years as a relief teacher. One of those years I was doing a year 2 class. I've had a few contracts where they've lasted like a term or something like that. And you know, you still get casual pay. So it's like, whatever. Anyway, so in that 12 years or 11 years that I was working as a relief teacher, they've only just paid us long service leave. Now that, as an accumulated thing, apparently, came to about $6,000 Australian. 12 years of long service leave accrued for me was $6,000 as a payout. You don't get the time off, you get the payout. I was happy with the payout. I was not happy with the amount of the payout because I'm looking at the amount that the full-time teachers got as long service leave accrued. And it was ridiculous the amount you would have got in 12 years. But I suppose you should be grateful because it's better than nothing, because they weren't paying us long service leave before. But at the same time, they paid me the $6,000. And then I got this email saying, oh, we overpaid you. We miscalculated, so now we've got to claw some of that back. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, so they took back, and this will come out of my next pay, actually, funny, on the 18th of August. They're taking it out of my pay, so I'm getting even less pay now. It'll be about $700 because they miscalculated. So you're sitting there thinking, wow, I just got this bonus, which I'm not used to, and cool, I can put it towards my savings, and I did. And then you get a second letter saying, no, we overpaid you, we're taking it back. So you're like, you fuckers. I mean, they are just as bad as Centrelink, because Centrelink does that. They're like, here's your money for the week. It's about $500. I was getting about $574 a fortnight. So what's that, about $250, maybe I'm trying to think what that would be in pounds. £250 a fortnight, something like that. Roughly, given the exchange rate. My maths is off and my brain's fuzzy, so you're gonna have to work that out yourself. But it's fuck all. The mortgage I was paying at the time was $330 a week. It was ridiculous. I couldn't even pay my mortgage. I couldn't pay my rent after that because I had to go back on afterwards. It's just sporadic debt, and as soon as you get ahead, you have to go back into debt again. It's like, but I'm a little bit ahead now. So, but shit, something just happened. I have to go back into debt. So casual workers get fucked over a lot, and oh God help us if you fuck without pay in any way. We will crucify you. The amount of times the Department of Education's fucked up my pay, I lost my shit. Or a school hasn't paid me for the day I did. I fucking go after them. You don't fuck with your people's pay. You just don't. That is their livelihood. That is the difference between them being homeless or not being able to eat for the week, you know? So you don't fuck with the pay. Oh Christ, it's cutthroat. And I do feel, honestly, as a casual worker, I feel like a mercenary. We are deep set in the trenches here, getting sick and dealing with shit resources with a lot of fucking stress. And then they're like, why do people quit? It's like, oh, I don't fucking know. Because there's no release, there's no backup for the backup. Arseholes, it's hilarious. It's like, they just, and if they play dumb, and admin often is fucking dumb, they can just ignore the situation altogether. It's blows the mind. I'm surprised it's still running, to be honest. It's like, I don't know who. You've got maybe like a handful of competent people at the helm The rest of them are just like fucking things up, like little fucking pixies just getting at the works. You know, what are they called? Little noggles or whatever they are. You know, they just get it and pick at things, fuck things up, and make more work, which promotes more jobs, yes, but it is complicating the situation. It doesn't run efficiently. Oh, don't get me started about it. Anyway, so I have no choice but to go into work today because I am trained for teaching. It's a good pay when you get it, if you can get it. But you are sitting on a precipice. If anything like lockdowns or massive illness, like I'm working sick. I don't know if I've got COVID. I'll say it, I'll admit it, because the rat tests that we get through the school are not for us. They are for full-time teachers and kids and families. That's government issued rat tests. Okay, right. So we can't use them because we're casual. Fine, okay, whatever. The rat tests I signed up to through the government initiative, we were given like, oh, you get 20 free rat tests. And there was a second wave saying, oh, you get 20 more free rat tests. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, free shit. Okay, cool, sign me up. I was not recognized and I never got those damn rat tests. So I have no idea if I'm sick or not with COVID. I've had my 4 jabs, which were free. If I wanted to go out and buy a rat test, it cost me about $75 a hit. And I'm like, I don't have that money. What am I going to do with fucking $75? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy food shopping, you fuck. It's like, healthcare is the premise of the bourgeoisie. What the fuck? We, the proletariat, are sick of getting sick. It's ironic. Is it? I don't know. We're going to have to ask Alanis. But it's like, you fuckers. It's like, well, I'm in a precarious situation where I can't afford healthcare. I can't afford to take days off. I'm cornered. I might be a super spreader. If I am a super spreader, I am deeply apologetic. I would love to have sick days and actually go deal with my illness. But at the same time, I have no choice. So while I'm staggering through the fucking day dealing with some kid who's trying to negotiate his fucking way out of going to buddy class because he just stabbed someone with a fucking pencil. It would be lovely to fantasize about this luxury of sick pay. Yeah. It's like, holy shit. I was like, most of the time I'm so, caffeinated, I'm just buzzing through on sheer fumes. Throw in a sickness. I'm anticipating my period to start soon, quite frankly, because that shit just hits when it loves to, It's like, the weakened body, excellent, bleed. It's like, wait, I need that oxygen in my bloodstream. No, I need the hemoglobin. Please don't. When women go down, particularly women, when they get sick, when they get a period, stress, everything will go down. I would love to have man flu. I think it would be like a holiday. We're so fucked. Although our estrogen is seemingly saving us from getting COVID and stuff like that. Right at the start they were saying, oh, women are less predisposed to get COVID. I'm like, sweet, okay, how? Oh, it's the estrogen. It's like, finally it pays back. Oh, forget the, ovarian cysts and shit like that. Finally we get something back. Oh, Christ, man flu. Oh, it's a fucking luxury. I would love to get man flu. It is a case of, look, we got sick. Okay, I'm now treating this sick, which is probably COVID, could be COVID, might not be. I'm now treating it on the same level as I do my period. It's like, it sucks that it's there, but we're going to keep fighting forward. Fuck it. I have no choice. We keep going forward. It's like, all the women in the crowd are like, oh, fucking periods. Yeah, no, she's right, though, because it does not stop us. As much as the tampon ads keep saying, oh, don't let your period stop you. It's like, it was never fucking going to. I don't think a tampon's going to help me organize my life. I mean, who honestly falls into crisis situation when their period starts? It's like, we've been having them since we're early teens. It sucks. It's painful. You fucking fight forward and you keep going. The same with the flu for me right now. It's like, I have no choice, but I will keep fucking fighting forward. We will keep going. Oh, Christ. And we feel bad because it's like, yes, we know that we're spreading shit and we don't want to. We don't want to. We have no choice but to. All these elderly people in old people homes, and I feel fucking horrible about that, because when I saw COVID hit, I'm going, oh, fuck me, they're just going down like, baby giraffe. It's just like a whole population just getting wiped out. I'm going, fuck. We got to do everything we can. All right, everybody masks, everybody washing hands, everything. Don't touch anything, don't breathe on anyone. Nobody go outside. But then you've got to deal with the reality of, if I don't go outside, I can't get paid. Fuck. So all the work I got, most of the time during lockdown, all the full-time teachers took the time off. They're like, fuck this. I've got sick leave. I've got long service leave. I was still working I was an essential worker. I was the essential worker because I was the backup to these teachers who decided to just fucking bail. It's like, we had a lot of them. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, if you get the chance and opportunity to have some time off, it is a high-stress job as a full-time teacher. If you get the time, take it, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm just pissed that the department doesn't give us long service leave properly. And definitely no sick leave. During a pandemic, sick leave would be fucking amazing. Although, who's there to look after the kids? You can imagine, it's like all the full-time teachers taking time off. So who's looking after the kids? That's why I thought that honestly they were going to just close the schools properly. Like properly. It's like, look, if we can just time this well, close the school for a month, everybody gets sick at home, it would be great because we can just knock it out there, hopefully, right? It's like, no, they did it in waves, so some schools closed, some schools didn't. So you had a whole bunch of teachers like me, traveling teacher. I am a traveling teacher, it's horrible. Because you got to find your work in the morning, and if you don't get that call, you're not going to get paid. So we are actively looking for jobs now. It is very much a mercenary thing. I mean, it's pretty chill now because there's so many people getting sick and so many people falling out. So us as backup, turning up, we come in like fucking heroes at this point. It's like, oh my God, we actually got a relief teacher. It's like, yes, bring me the danger money food. Yes, I would love all the cupcakes. That was our danger money during the lockdown. When we came in, I turned up to work one time. Someone came around at about recess and handed me this "We appreciate you, teachers" cupcake. It was pretty fancy actually. I think it might have come off Etsy or something like that. But you know, they do those amazing things on Etsy with foods. I'm going, you bastards, how do you do that? But it was like a cupcake, big size of your fist, a little disc on it saying "We appreciate you." And I'm like, yeah. I'm going to die from COVID, but I got a cupcake. Brilliant. Fucking love cupcakes, but I don't want to die before I eat it. So anyway, that was our danger money. You know, all the mine workers go into the mines and they get hazard pay and shit like that. Teachers are literally walking into a minefield of disease where the kids are coughing in your mouth and we get cupcakes. It's like, fucking A, because I'm doing this for the kids. No, I'm not. At this point, I'm doing it for the pay, and the pay ain't great. So you're wondering why there's a mass exodus of teachers. Like, it's because of this dumb shit. It's been, as a profession, ennobled. So it's been, you know, glorified as this amazing thing you're doing for the kids, the future, all this blah, 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 blah. So they'll exploit that. It's like, but why do you need the danger pay? Why do you need the time off? It's such a great job. You're doing such an amazing thing for the humanity, you know. And you sit there going, I'm literally dying on my feet trying to raise someone else's kid, which they've raised wrong, which is now trying to stab another kid with a pencil because he's got rage issues. During a pandemic where I could die because I'm susceptible to lung problems already. You know, from childhood, I already have lung problems. I've got scarring of my bronchial tubes because they have to stick a pipe down my throat at birth. You know, I'm already fucked that way. I've got PTS breathing issues myself. So I've got mental issues as well. And we're not allowed to take days off because there's no pay if we do. So talking about human rights and human condition and workers' rights. And what's their solution? Join the union. Fuck you. Because you pay to join the union, and the union only gives a shit about full-time workers. That's all they care about. It's like, well, we don't have to deal with your shit, so... You're not full-time, just take the day off. You can. It's like, no, we fucking can't actually. We're more corded than the full-time workers. We're screwed. Oh, it's just a fucking joke to them. The amount of shit I've seen that is just a case of someone getting ahead in their position by saying the right things or making it look like they're doing the right thing is astounding. It's just like, okay, so he said all the right things, so give him the position. It's like, can he actually do the job? No. But he said the right thing. And I've seen this countless times in job interviews with other teachers. And when you come to watch their practice, they're not actually doing the fucking job. Like, I just said I could do this, so I got the job. It's like, what? And then by then they're locked into a yearly contract, and it's like, okay. But yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. But again, that's down to the individual, I suppose. I'm guessing there are hugely competent teachers out there that are amazing, because I've seen them all on, YouTube and stuff like that. These unicorns of amazingness that aren't half-assing their job right now during a pandemic and then taking the time off with maternity leave, for example. I've had a few girls who are, as soon as they get... The thing over here is that you get your level 3. You do 2 years full-time on purpose, like committed, and then you apply for your level 3. That is the normal progression. Level 3 is a bit more admin work that you have to do, but you get a higher pay grade. It's a decent... Sorry about that. I know that was my nose snorting. It sounds gross to me. You get the bump up in the pay. You get maybe an extra few jobs you have to do after school, something like that. Maybe you're running a committee or something for the IT in the school, something like that. You need to prove that you have the competencies to exist in that role. It's a semi-leadership role, not quite deputy principal, not quite principal. It is a bump up between. It's like brunch. It's not quite breakfast or lunch, it's brunch. It's not quite a teacher, it's not quite a deputy, it's a level 3. So, yeah, the thing to do is you do your 2 years mandatory, you get full-time, you get your level 3, and then instantly, as soon as these women get their level 3, they get pregnant, and they fuck off on maternity leave. And you're like, you bastard! Because they're holding their position. And that is, yes, job security, but how many other casual teachers are looking for a full-time position? Maybe wanting to start their own fucking families. And these bastards just do their mandatory 2 years and get knocked up and fuck off. And you're like, And so they'll take on relief teachers for that position while the person's gone on maternity leave. But they won't give them the full-time position. And meanwhile, me as a relief teacher, and as a woman, I chose not to have kids because I knew it would get in the way. Well, one of the reasons. There are many other reasons why I chose not to have kids. But I'm all about the job. I like working. I am maternal, yes. I have those natural inclinations easily. Especially given my background and where I came from. But at the same time, I'm not going to sacrifice my entire life for kids. I can't do that. To me, it would add on my brain. I know it would. Because the second you have to have a whole day-long conversation about whether a baby's shat or not, I swear it just dumbs your brain down. Like, I can't do it. I get frustrated on the school holidays when I'm not working. This is why I have so many projects running. Because if I'm not working on one, I'm going to lose my shit. I have to start another one. I have to work on something else. I got about 7 or 8 projects in the works on top of full-time teaching. Just because I cannot sit still. I cannot let my brain relax and just chill. So imagine that you stay at home in your entire existence, and there are women out here that are fine with this. It is seemingly a more relaxed maybe state than the constant fight of having to find work and get the money and get the bread when, all that shit. Who just get married, have babies, stay at home. And that's it for the rest of their life. It's like these housewives. And you sit there and think, there's only so much time that you need to allocate towards cleaning, cooking, and all that shit. I've done it before and worked a full-time job. And your kids are at school for a large chunk of that day. So what the fuck do you do all day? Because I would go spare. My brain would go nuts. There's just no fight there. There's no fight to do anything, to win anything, to get anything, There's no drive. Once you clean the house, that takes, about an hour? It used to take me about an hour. Clean a house. That's not going to take a long time, cooking dinner and shit like that. What do you do all day? I go nuts. I mean, there's got to be someone, obviously, women out there, or men even, who are house husbands, who would give me very valid arguments for that. But I know myself, I'd go nuts. There's not enough to do. There's just really not enough to do. And I'd feel pointless and I'd feel useless because I'm not using my body and my brain to the full extent of which it is capable and what I could be doing, what I should be doing, to be honest. Coming from a working class background, it is very uncommon for a woman to stay at home for me. Women don't just have kids. You work as well. That is the absolute. You don't just sit on your ass. If you have kids, that's the sideline. You also work. You work. You contribute to the pay because there's often none. You might both have jobs if the guy stayed. And you work. You both work. The kids come in later. While they're at school, you are working. That's the rule, you know? So in the culture I was raised, the women that would stay at home were deemed as lazy. They were just, I mean, there are obviously women who argue, I do so much in a day, and oh my God, my life is this, and oh, it's so stressful. And so I'm sitting there going, this probably isn't. But because you haven't ventured, or you can't really see outside the context in which you're existing currently, because we often can't. We're stuck in the idea of, this is my parameters, I need to exist in these parameters. I mean, I know just leaving the classroom, I have to change mindsets. As soon as I'm out of the classroom, I'm like, okay, now I need to work on my businesses. So that's a different mindset in itself. Yeah, it gets fiddly. So, I couldn't do it. And you know, you got all these fairy tales where the princess gets rescued and she never has to work again, or Cinderella bullshit. I'm sitting there going, if I was Cinderella, I'd still get pissy. I mean, you marry a prince, yeah? You marry a prince, alright. I've already existed within the working conditions of poverty. How can I help others? It's like, would you sit on your ass and just live this luxurious life? Or would you try, right, now we've got access to resources, let's try and improve the lives of some other people. So I wouldn't sit on my ass, you know, and twiddle my thumbs and breed babies. I'd be doing something with what resources I was just given. I mean, I'd be sitting there eBaying my jewelry and shit, trying to get some money up to go and help some other people. Oh my God. Who sits on their ass and just breeds little mini princesses and princes all day? It's fucking insane. It's a waste of a woman, to be honest, knowing that what we're capable of, the amount of fucking strong women I've seen in the poverty cycle and in the lower classes, and just women that were not born into money and they've known nothing else but the fight to find resources and to keep going. They've known nothing else. There is no one coming to save us. There's no prince on a fucking horse. Chances are the horse is some kind of, you know, disease-ridden something that's bringing more problems than it's worth. So you're like, fuck, more shit to deal with. The guy usually bails after we get pregnant. That's the reality of my situation I was raised in. The princess run off with some other princess because the princess had better tits. I don't know. The reality of the situation. It's like, as a woman we take on so much more than just, oh, my uterus. And there was a time period when women were like, oh, she's beautiful, and that's all she has to be. It's like, wait, hang on. No. Because now you're taking on the fight of what should be a male domain, as far as I'm concerned. We are protectors now. We have to be. We are providers. We can't just stay at home and raise the kids as nurturers. Everything's changed. We're now doing both the male and the female job, and I'm talking in biological terms, not in gender roles. Because you've got men that are doing the same thing, where they can't find a steady woman, and they're having to raise the kid and work at the same time. And you saw it in like movies like Pursuit of Happiness. I can't remember what happened. Maybe Will Smith's wife died, or she abandoned them, or something like that. But that is a reality. Men have to face that too. We are taking on too much. That should be a coexistence thing. Like, to do it well, there should be a coexistence. And it's just a case of, I mean, the things that are causing this are usually ego or circumstance. Ego in that someone bails, or insecurities where someone bails because they're afraid. Ego where they bail because they don't think they should have to. Circumstance where people die. That's an ongoing thing. That's been going on for centuries, I think. Because you read some historical texts about that kind of stuff, and it still happens where like some rich landlord's knocked up some girl, and you know, she's been left to raise the baby because, God forbid, you know, he should recognize that he stuck his dick in the wrong person, you know. It's or some girl was, you know, not exactly the most pristine of chaste women. She got knocked up by doing something like that, and then she has to live with it. But it's always the woman that gets left with the kids. I find that cruel. I'm like, you may put it in there. You deal with it. But, you know, So, oh my God, what a tangent. But I've come from a background where women work. It is natural to work. You have to work. There is no question of that. We don't sit on our ass, get our nails done, and that's it. To be a housewife like that, it is considered that you are lazy. That you are not pulling your weight. I don't know what it's like for house husbands. My brother is at times a house husband because his wife works as a nurse. So she's a nurse, he's a teacher, and they both co-parent. It's brilliant. Sometimes he's the house husband, sometimes he's the worker. I can't imagine a world where I just sit on my ass and get paid. I mean, the other thing about it is, given the background I come from, it's like women who, you know, essentially take pay laying on their back. There are names for that. If there's a ring on it, apparently it's a housewife. You know, it's a horrible way to look at it as well. But if you're getting paid to just exist, that's horrible, man. I mean, what do you do as in your existence? You know, sleep with your husband and you use his money. It's like, wait a minute, there's a word for that. I can't imagine not working. I mean, essentially those girls who are working while they take pay on the back, you know, are working. But, you know, it's absurd. It's non-functionalist. I am a functionalist person. I work. I'm designed to work. Even in an astrological sense, I'm a Taurus. I work. I plow. That is what I do. I've never known anything else, if you wanted to go into the spiritualist sense of the word. Who are these women that are fine with just not doing anything? I can't. Like, I look at some of the celebrities and the non-working ones, and the most they've done is had kids to some person who had a really good job. And I'm sitting there going, serious? That is your entire existence? You are defined by your ability to shit out babies? That's all you've amounted to? Kids? It doesn't make sense. It's like, don't you want to strive for something? Just something. I don't know. Fucking sell Mary Kay or something. I don't fucking know. But you got to do something. It's okay. I've had my kids. I've got my 3 kids. That's all I have to do. I'm just raising them. It's like, no, they're not. You've got nannies raising them. You've got private schools where the kids go off and exist in some other location. Boarding schools is what they call them. You're not actually raising these kids. Someone else is. You just shut them out. And then that's it. That is your entire existence. So I cannot fathom how that is, as a woman, a fucking existence. It's like, we have fought for so much more. We've fought for rights, for equal pay, for workplaces. We have fought to find these jobs. We fight daily to overcome shit that's happened to us in our lifetimes just because we're women, to fight for these positions and this money and this, you know. And then someone turns around and says, no, I'm just going to get pregnant and stay at home. It's like, are you fucking high? What the fuck? No! We are backtracking by doing this. I can't... it blows the mind. And I sound like some kind of neo-feminist, I know. I love men. I want equality. I don't want superiority. I want equality. I mean, obviously we can't get the biological equality. They have hormones. We don't have hormones. But in terms of... just, you know, it bugs the shit out of me, these girls that just go like... And they're girls. They're not women as far as I'm concerned, because a woman would stand up and do everything. A girl would say, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. And that's it. Fuck it. Why should I do that? I mean, it's the same with boys as well. If you're talking a biological sense, a man will stand up. He is honourable. He will hang around when his kids are born. He will raise them. He will co-parent. He will provide. He will protect. That is what testosterone is for. You're a man. You protect. You are bigger biologically for a reason. We need you to be that. It is a boy that runs. It's a boy that can't be fucked, that doesn't want to provide, that doesn't want to do all this stuff. Because it lacks maturity. It lacks testosterone. I mean, I know there is the toxic masculinity where, you know, like they become so overtly, you know, toxic with their testosterone, where it's to dominate and to become domineering and things like that. And women are the same. We can do the same. My mum was domineering. She was domineering because of her you know, background and trauma and hormones. I mean, her rage, I swear, was estrogen based at times, especially when she was on a period and taking it out on us. But you need to find that level mid ground. I know this is a hell of a tangent. I've just pulled up to work with 4 minutes to fill. My nose is running and I need to blow it. But at the same time, if you are a casual worker, I understand that you're going through hell. I understand that you don't have a choice. I don't want you to feel guilty for having to choose to put food on the table instead of, you know, staying at home and losing your job and potentially making your children suffer. I understand that. We must do what we can to ensure that, you know, the disease is not spread as much as we can. I mean, honestly, as a society, I think honestly we need to be more compassionate to people who are working full time, who are casual workers and run 2 or 3 jobs at a time. It's crazy. I want to see more funding towards things like sick pay for casuals. Because during this, it's just highlighting the holes in the system. Because I know more than just teachers, as relief teachers, are not getting the backup they need, casual worker-wise. It's more than relief teachers. It's also people that work in, like, bloody Woolworths and well, not doctors, I'm sure they've got sick pay, but they're under intense stress. Crazy. Ugh. Okay, my brain's a bit fuzzy now. Sorry, I've gone on complete tangents, and I know I've broken up themes in that podcast. It is Wednesday, hump day. If anyone's getting laid, go for it. I'm not, but and I'm not ashamed, because it's a choice of, you know, hump someone to say that you've got someone, or actually choose someone who's quality. I'd rather choose someone who's quality and wait. Yeah, so I'll wait. Have a good one, okay? We've got 2 more days. I'm about to walk into a year 4 class, sick as a dog. And I'm going to stagger through it. I'm going to autopilot it. I'm going to heavily caffeinate myself and hopefully go and snuffle some shit from the staff room. If anyone's left any chocolates lying around, maybe, I don't know. I consider it danger pay. But considering it's where I got this flu from, it's already in the area. I'm not feeling bad about that. It's like where I got it from. So if I'm worried about spreading it further, it's like, eh. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? But, you know, that's the parts of the job. This is the price you pay for being the backup. It's the potential for going down yourself. I'm sorry about the snorting. If you've heard that, it sounds disgusting, I know, and I really want to be at home trying to get well again, but I don't have a choice. So, alright, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. I might see you on the way home. I might chat on the way home, because again, it's the same amount of time. And I know the next 2 days I'm working at a different school, which is really close to my home, so we really have a chance to chat, a long chat. Alright, take it easy. If you are sick, go get through as best you can, okay? We don't really have a choice. Just do what you can. Okay, take it easy, don't feel bad, don't feel guilt. Some of us don't have a choice, some of us don't have backups, okay? I will see you either this afternoon or tonight. Alright? Bye.